We are back again with another Prelims power play related environment discussion. And in today's topic, we'll be discussing a few concepts such as the United Nations Forum on Forest. We'll also be talking about a recent initiative that was launched by EESL regarding clean cooking and also look into organic farming. So yes, let us move into the first topic, that is United Nations Forum on Forest. Now, what is this United Nations Forum on Forest and why was this in news? So because recently India has brought a country-led initiative and discussed about sustainable forest management practices and forest certification in the UNFF. So this is why UNFF was in news. But what is this country-led initiative? Country-led initiative is a unique platform or a unique mechanism through which countries they can come forward and facilitate a discussion in a common forum. And this is not only particularly suited for United Nations Forum on Forest, but a lot of other organizations also, they make use of this concept or this mechanism known as the country-led initiative. So this country-led initiative has recently been brought by India regarding sustainable forest management and forest certification. Before getting into what sustainable forest management and what certification is, we'll just make sure what this United Nations framework on forest is. It's as the name says, it's a framework for forests that was brought in 2002. It was brought in 2002 by the United Nations Economic and Social Council, UN ECOSOC. Is that right? So it was brought by the United Nations ECOSOC, and India is also a founding member with respect to the United Nations Forum on Forest. And it is one of the organizations that has universal membership. Universal membership in the sense the entire gamut of members in the United Nations are part of the United Nations Forum on Forest, and also the permanent observers to the United Nations. So this is what the UNFF is, and the major target that it tries to do, or the major thing that it tries to achieve, is protection of all types of forest. In this point, will have to be noted, because all types of forest, it might seem like an extreme statement, but this has to be noted that all types of forest are to be conserved by the United Nations Framework on Forest. Now, moving on to the initiatives that was brought. First thing is forest certification. Now, what is this forest certification? Nothing but a market mechanism. As the name suggests, just a certificate that tells people or tells consumers, tells producers that this particular product was extracted or it was produced from sustainable forest. Let's take this very good example. Let us take honey, natural honey that was not from an apiary. So this natural honey, it is taken from a forest. Let us take forest honey. It is taken from a forest, and in order to get a forest certification for that particular honey, the honey must be sourced from a forest that is sustainably managed. It should not be broken down. It should not have, there are a lot of other parameters also. It should not have biodiversity loss. It should not be exploited. There are other different parameters and standards upon which a forest is evaluated, and then this forest certification is given to a product that has been extracted or has been produced from that type of forest. So this is what a forest certification is. And forest certification, recent times, it has the environmental consciousness of individuals have increased, and owing to that process, forest certification, owing to that concept, forest certifications have been in large scale demand. And this rising trend of environmental consciousness can be witnessed in various other parameters also. For example, today we have business responsibility parameters. SEBI has brought framework for business responsibility parameters, and across the globe there is this ESG governance frameworks like for investing and all. This tells us that people are moving towards an environmentally conscious ideology. Environmentally consciousness has been increased among the masses, and in the line of all these things, forest certification is one thing that is being done. Yes, so there are basically two types of forest certification. One type of forest is nothing but the certification of forest management. A certification of forest management that certifies that this particular product is from a sustainably managed forest. It's from a sustainably managed forest. And next is the chain of custody. Chain of custody certificate. So first certificate is the certificate of forest management, and second is the chain of custody certificate. And this chain of custody certificate, it tells that this particular product is from this sustainably managed forest, and this has to be separated from other products. So there will be the same example, there will be a lot of honeys also. Natural honey, the name of natural honey itself, there will be sustainably produced ones, unsustainably produced ones, and apiary based honey bottles. So the clear-cut demarcation of these three is what the chain of custody certificate is, and there are basically two types of certificates. And today in the world, around 35%, since 2010, 35% of the forests are sustainably managed and are certified according to this particular data. And when it comes to who gives this forest certification, how it is given? Yes, we have already discussed that there are a set of parameters that institutions set for themselves, and these forests, for example, let us take any forest in India, forest ABC, they are being evaluated upon the set parameters that they have or the standards that they have, and then evaluated to give forest certification. So that is what the thing is. And who gives this certificate? A lot of organizations give these certificates, but two organizations are in major demand. That is, first organization is the Forest Stewardship and Council. Forest Stewardship and Council, who gives forest certification, whose certificates are in high demand. And next is the Program for Endorsement of Forest Certification, which is less demand only. Program for Endorsement of Forest Certification, which is in less demand only. When it comes to the Indian context, in India, Uttar Pradesh-based forest products, they have forest certification in India. Yes, this is what forest certification is all about. And sustainable forest management practice is nothing but a practice that looks after the health and vitality of that forest. Not only health and vitality of that particular forest alone, but all the components of the forest. Let us take biodiversity. Let us take the communities that live there. It also has a social and socio-economic angle, which also inculcates the perspectives, the views, the needs and apprehensions of the communities that live there. So this is what a sustainably managed forest is, and this also was discussed in the latest country-led initiative in the forum of United Nations Forum of Forest led by India. Move on to the next topic, that is known as the organic farming. So we would have come across this term organic farming here and there. We know what organic farming is also, but why was this in news? Recently, a symposium was conducted on organic products, and a cooperative is there, National Cooperatives Organics Limited, not National Cooperative Organics Limited. The products of National Cooperative Organics Limited was branded under the term Bharat Organics. 6 products such as all these types of dals were branded as Bharat Organics and then sold. These products were produced by the National Cooperative Organics Limited, and that is the context in which organic farming was in use. Now we'll move into before moving into what is organic farming and other types of farming, differentiating them, we'll just get to know what this National Cooperative Organics Limited is. National Cooperative Organics Limited is an organization, a cooperative limited that was started in 2023 under the Multi-State Cooperatives Act. So it's a Multi-State Cooperative Act started recently in 2023. And what is the goal of this is that it tries to provide a platform for cooperative farmers. It tries to provide a platform for cooperative farmers to showcase and sell their goods. So that is the major premise upon which this particular organization is built upon. And there are also other organizations that support or that have come together in order to bring this particular organization. So what are the organizations that have come together? First is AMUL, then we have the National Cooperative Consumers Federation of India, National Cooperative Consumers Federation of India, and we have NAFED, we have National Dairy Development Board, and again we have the National Cooperative Development Board. So these 5 organizations have come together to form the National Cooperative Organics Limited. Now, yes, we'll move on to the organic farming. So, yeah, organic farming would have discussed here and there. What is organic farming? What is organic farming in the sense we used to see organic, 100% organic and all. Like going to roadside shops, going to supermarkets and all, we used to see all these apples or guavas, they'll be like termed as organic. Now, what is this organic farming? Organic farming is something that is done organically. No outside, no chemical fertilizers or chemical processes are used in organic farming. But on the other hand, a catch is that organic farming, a lot of people mistake that organic farming does not use fertilizers itself. Yes, it does not use chemical fertilizers, but off-farm inputs can be used. Bio things can be used in organic farming. So tilling, like plowing, all these things are accepted. All these things are accepted. Organic usage of organic manure, all these things are accepted in organic harvesting. On the other hand, there is also a similar concept that is often confused with organic farming, known as the natural farming. Natural farming, as the name suggests, it is natural farming. It has the components of how plants grow as they are. As they are, in the sense there will be no tilling, there will be no organic manure that is being put into the field. As and when only sowing will be done, and as and when whatever happens, no weeding will be done, no pesticide will be sprayed. So just as how in the nature plants grow, there's the same process that is used in natural farming, and these two things should not be confused. One accepts biological inputs, one accepts organic inputs, one does not have inputs at all. Just how in the nature the plant grows, In a similar fashion it grows. So this is how these two things are, organic and natural farming are related. They should not be confused with. And we also saw the national cooperatives that was recently discussed, and the Bharat Organics is a brand name. Yes, move on to the next topic, that is the National Efficient Cooking Program. Now, what is this National Efficient Cooking Program? Who has brought it? Is that EESL, that is Energy Efficiency Services Limited, a joint venture under the Ministry of Power, has brought the EESL. But that is EESL has brought the National Efficient Cooking Program. Now, what does this program try to do? Yes, as the name suggests, it tries to improve cooking efficiency. How does it try to improve cooking efficiency? Yes, especially in rural areas, all these cooking is done via all these firewood and all these traditional methods, right? And this is what the program tries to resolve. Yes, or before this, there are also other schemes that wanted LPG, but what this scheme does is that it tries to give induction stoves. At least 20 lakhs induction stove has to be distributed in order to make cooking efficient. So that is the goal that has been set by EESL, Energy Efficiency Services Limited, for this national efficient cooking program. So what is this EESL? So this is what the program is. And what is this EESL? EESL is nothing but, as discussed earlier, is nothing but joint venture. It was brought by 4 public sector undertakings of India in 2009. The 4 public sector undertakings of India are NTPC, REC, Power Grid Corporation, and we also have the Power Finance Corporation Limited. These are the 4 organizations or 4 public sector undertakings that came together in order to create something known as the EESL. And EESL has brought a program called as National Efficient Cooking Program, and this EESL works under the Ministry of Power. And this is not the only program that has been brought by EESL. EESL has brought a lot of programs that is targeted on energy efficiency, such as the street light programs, such as the Atal Jyoti Yojana. There are a lot of Ujala scheme, not Ujwala scheme. There are 2 different schemes, Ujala and Ujwala. So the Ujala scheme has been brought by EESL. So there are a lot of other schemes that target energy efficiency that has been brought by the EESL. Now, why do we have to make cooking efficient? Is that there are a lot of benefits to that. The carbon footprint can be reduced. Health-based benefits are there. Environmental-based benefits are there. Cost-based benefits are there. So owing to a holistic process, this seems to be a right place, right time to transition from firewood and LPG based cookings. At least not completely, but yes, in few pockets here and there, we can transform from LPG and firewood based cookings to something that is led by inductions. That is, we can go electric, and that is what the goal that has been set by EESL for National Efficient Cooking Platform. Thank you.